Tonight's story doesn't begin with a choice. It begins with a morning, a very ordinary morning, the kind where nothing is supposed to change. And that's exactly why it does. This is the third story in this series where we don't rush to understand things. We just sit beside them for a while and let them feel the way they feel. Today's story is The Metamorphosis. Gregor Samsa wakes up one morning and notices something is wrong. He is just lying in his bed, thinking about work, and realizes that he can't roll over. His legs are moving strangely. His body feels unfamiliar and heavy. Then he understands that he has turned into a large insect. The first thing he worries about isn't horror or meaning, it's that he's going to be late for work. Gregor is the only one who's supporting his parents and his sister financially. And missing the train matters to him more than the impossibility of the situation. He tries to get out of bed, struggling with a body he doesn't know how to use yet. While outside, his family grows anxious because he hasn't left the room yet. His manager even comes to his house to demand an explanation. When Gregor finally opens the door, everyone sees him. His mother faints. His father drives him back into his room with a cane and a newspaper, like pushing away an animal. From that point, his room becomes his entire world. At first, his sister cares for him. She brings him food and tries to experiment with what he can eat. She moves the furniture so he can climb on the walls. Gregor is grateful. He still thinks of himself as part of the family, just temporarily inconvenienced. But slowly things change. His family realizes that they must work now since Gregor can't. They begin to resent the burden. His sister's visit becomes quicker. The room becomes a storage. Cleaning stops. The door stays shut. Gregor listens from inside as life continues without him. Dinners, conversations, plans, and understands that he is no longer included in the future he was supporting. One day, his father throws an apple at him in anger. One lodges in his back and stays there rotting. From then, Gregor weakens. Time passes. The family rents part of the apartment to lodgers and tries to pretend everything is normal. Gregor hides himself so that they won't be disturbed. Then, one evening, his sister plays the violin. Gregor comes out, drawn to the sound, not as an insect, but as someone who still feels the tenderness, but as someone who feels tenderness. For a moment, he imagines that she might understand him. Instead, the lodgers complain, and his sister says what no one has said directly yet, that they must get rid of him. Not because she hates him, but because he is no longer her brother in any way that she can recognize. Gregor returns to his room and stops moving. By morning, he is dead. The family feels relief. They go outside together for the first time in a long while, notice the weather is nice, and begin to think about their future, especially his sister's future, now that the burden is gone. The story begins with a question. Is love really unconditional? Or is usefulness what we call secretly love? When Gregor was doing well, people gathered easily. It wasn't so easy when he became something they couldn't fit into the functioning narrative anymore. When you stop having something to offer, the crowd thinned out. And when you become inconvenient, life slowly moves you into a smaller and smaller space until all that remains is four walls and your own thoughts. And those walls don't just hold your body, they hold the realization. Am I only loved for who I am, or only for what I keep running? Is care something given or something rented while still feel functioning? There's a quiet shift that happens from being helpful to being inconvenient to being a burden. And it's painful, but it's clarifying. The people that we call mine often mean yours while you work, yours while you give, yours while you remain recognizable to me. Because once you stop fitting into the role they knew, goodbyes don't come, closures don't come. You simply become unnecessary, not hated, just no longer needed, just no longer human in the way they understood. Morning simply comes again. The room will be cleaned, the windows will be opened, just like Gregor's family that steps outside and begins thinking about their future. Future that no longer needs you. That's the quiet weight that the story leaves behind. Not horror, not tragedy, just slowly being set down by the world that once you carried. So tonight, let's end the story there. Not with meaning, not with answers, just with soft recognition that being seen is fragile, and once lost, it rarely announces departure. Good night, sweet dreams, and I'll see you again with a heavy story and heavier conversations. Until then, farewell.